Who's your mummy?
Research complete.
Flash versus Hyvaa. All my Zerg in the backs. Okay, no more of that. Except up at the 2 o'clock position in yellow is Flash. So that means down at the 8 o'clock position in green. Oh, there's the Twitch. But down at the 8 o'clock position in green is Hyvaa. Yes, TVZ on Matchpoint. Very rare to see this, I think. I haven't seen many TVZ games on Matchpoint, but I'm looking forward to this one. But yes, back from my Winners League finals. I casted the Winners League finals with Ranchin over on Violatak. Go check that out if you haven't already, because it took a lot of time and effort to put those together. Yes, a lot of time and effort. Not quite as much as the Pro League finals that me and Ranchin casted, but still a lot of work because we had to get our schedules hooked together, and then there was that big mine disaster that we had to cover in the office, and yeah, that just threw off everything. So it took about 3 days to record and edit and upload that thing. So go check it out. Woohoo! And thumbs down the haters on Violatak. Woohoo! So yes, Hyvaa versus Flash. I don't think many people would say that Hyvaa has much of a chance here, but of course this is Matchpoint. It's a very, very wacky map. All kinds of wacky stuff happens on this map, and like I said, I haven't seen many Terran versus Zerg on this, so I think it's going to be interesting. Flash is going out with his initial SCV, so let's get some predictions from the Nukenites. Here's one from Tammy Susie, writes, Flash wins, 90% sure. Oh, that's an extra 10% that Hyvaa can use. Hyvaa is going to put down his expansion here. Let's get another prediction. This one's from Apanishadurna, I guess, writes, here's a prediction for the entire OSL. The unstoppable Flash will go down. I love him to death, but you can't ignore a gut feeling when it hits you in the ... gut. There we go. Here's one from Cheku, I guess, writes, the only one who could win against Flash was JD, so GG. You hear that, Hyvaa? Oh, snap. Here's one from KT Flash 96. Gee, I wonder who he's rooting for. Writes, Flash is gonna 2 racks cheese Hyvaa, then Hill, I guess Hill, it says Hell, go out onto Quanro. By the way, the factory's coming up. So Flash is actually going for mech. This is going to be interesting to watch because I haven't seen Flash go for anything different in a long, long time. He's been doing so well with his regular medic marine strategy. But anyways, continuing this prediction. He'll go on to Quanro and use his ultra mega super awesome M&M micro. Then he'll nuke Cal like he did to Best. And he actually nuked Best on this map, so it's very appropriate. I'm pretty sure he ended up winning that game too, just with piss-headed defense. He just had awesome defense and made Best smash his head right into Flash's wall. Let's see, Flash, he's floating his barracks over to get the scout. This is very, very smart from him, but he might not be able to take out this Overlord. It's going to be, no, it's not going to be close. He's able to wedge himself up there and take it down. Very smart play from Flash already, but he's kind of given Hyvaa an idea of what he's going for. By floating off this barracks, Hyvaa is going to know a mech build is coming his way. So he's going to throw down a sunken colony and prepare for mech by getting out his Hydralisk, stuff like that. But at least Flash was able to snipe that Overlord. An Overlord this early in the game going down is a big, big deal. And now Flash, curiously enough, going out with a couple of Marines. I guess he wants to get the scout, or maybe put on some additional pressure, maybe look for another Overlord. If he can get a second Overlord snipe. There is a World of Warcraft nerd in the audience. Yay! Sorry, World of Warcraft players, but Flash is in there with an SCV to scout, so I don't think he's using these Marines to scout. I think he's looking around for another Overlord that he wants to snipe. But he's not going to be able to do it. He only has a couple of Marines anyway, so probably wouldn't be able to take it down even if he found one. But he is going for a mech build, and like I said, this is a very strange choice from Flash, because Flash, I think if he goes Medic Marine, he can pretty much win most of his games, but there's the first Vulture being spotted by that Overlord, so now Hyvaa is in the know. He's going to know exactly when that's going to come in, but he has a Sunken Colony here, so don't expect this first initial Vulture to get much done. I'm guessing that Flash is upgrading speed for those Vultures right now if he doesn't have it up already. I see the machine shop just stopped spinning, so yeah, that was mines. Going for mines, laying those all over the place. Going to try to stop Hyvaa from taking another base, but against a mech build, a Zerg player is okay from 2 bases for a pretty long period of time. Of course, Hyvaa will have to take his third base pretty soon, but from 2 bases you can be very aggressive and keep a Terran player from moving out for a long time. And yes, Flash playing extra safe. He's going to throw down a mine at each of these bases just to stop one of them from coming up. So Hyvaa, even if he wanted to take a third base right now, he's not going to be able to do it. He's chasing around that Vulture, not sure if he was actually paying attention to that Zergling. Couldn't take down that Vulture with one Zergling. Now the Zergling's coming in, actually dragging a mine into that Goliath. That was a little ridiculous. But straight up mech from Flash. Very unusual strategy. I guess because of the wonkiness of this map, he thinks he can make it work for him. It's very difficult for a Zerg player to maneuver on this map. There's not much maneuverability whatsoever. So Flash is thinking, how do I make use of not much maneuverability? Oh, I could go for a mech build, which doesn't have much maneuverability anyway, unless you get dropships out there, which isn't really incorporated into the build, usually until later, unless you want to do a Vulture drop of some kind. But Hyvaa is still running around trying to drag these mines. He drags 2 mines. Good job there, dragging 2 mines with a single Zergling. So Hyvaa is prepared for mech, and the reason that many Terran players have kind of moved away from mech is that Zerg players have kind of caught on to a good strategy to fight it off. Like I said, going for Mutalisk like this, I mean, you can just keep the Terran inside their bases, then mass expand at the same time. It's not a very maneuverable build whatsoever to go for mech. You're stuck with your whole army together, and once you move out, it leaves your other bases vulnerable to drops and stuff like that, so you have to lay mines everywhere and whatnot. But Flash, he's actually picking off the supply depot. I guess his rally point for his units is kind of off once that supply depot is there, but he's going to rebuild that soon. Here come the initial mutas. I think that Flash will be okay with these mutas. He doesn't have his Charon boosters yet, but he does have turrets all over the place, so I think he's going to be okay. He loses a couple of SCVs, so Hyvaa trying to get a little bit of damage done before he goes out there, takes his third base, and just tries to mass expand all over the place. Just expand everywhere. That is the best counter to a mech build, because it takes a while before a mech build is strong enough to move out and tackle a base. So Hyvaa, I think, is going to try to take advantage of that. He's moving up with 1 drone, so I think he is going to throw down a base soon. And Flash hasn't played mech in so long. The last time I remember Flash playing mech, well, the first time I saw him playing mech was one of the first games I ever commentated. He went against GG Play. I think it was GG Play in this first game on Medusa. It was a blue map. I think it was Medusa. Yeah, it was Medusa. So he went for mech there and got stomped by GG Play because GG Play just mass expanded everywhere. Went for ultras and mutas. Ultra Muta, and just destroyed Flash's build. And another time I remember Flash failing with mech was against Jaedong. He went for mech on Destination, and Jaedong completely punished him for it. Didn't let him get a second base whatsoever. Just kept going in with Hydralisk, just non-stop aggression. So I'm not sure if I've ever seen Flash win with mech. I'm sure he has, but I just can't remember the last time he actually won with this type of build. So maybe he's perfected this. Maybe that's why he's using this build right now. He found a way to make it work for him. Because really, his Medic Marine that is the build that he has made work for him. He's made that work so well that Zerg don't really have a chance against it these days unless you're Jadong or something.